something underhanded going on today at DeSales University, but fortunately for us, on Two Sports, it's women's softball. Jim Krupka and Jim Wills here at DeSales University. And Jim, it's kind of a relaxing day for the Bulldogs.
No question about it, Jim. They've already clinched their berth in the playoffs. They're going to be determined this week what it's going to be, 1, 2, 3, or 4. A lot depends on what happens today. A lot of teams bunched up with one loss. They separate about 4 teams, so that'll depend after today what happens.
And for Wilkes, though, a lot different. They're sort of in the pressure pack situation to make the postseason. They need a couple of wins.
Yeah, they need a sweep today, and then they need about 3 or 4 things to happen with everybody else. So they're in a little bit more different position. They've split a lot of doubleheaders this year, which has created the opportunity for them to be on the edge looking in right now, which otherwise they probably would be in with 21 wins.
Senior day for the women's softball players at DeSales. Keep it here on Two Sports. And a beautiful afternoon here at DeSales University. The Colonels taking on the Bulldogs. And now we're going to honor our country with the playing of the national anthem. Lineups done, Jim, and boy, I got to tell you, the Wilkes dugout, they were pretty relaxed this morning, considering the pressure of these games. As we take a look at the lineups.
Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the game.
For Wilkes, we see Boyd and Welker at the bottom of the lineup, followed by Gambino. Top of the lineup, Condris is in right field. Junilon is in center field, batting second. Some nice hitters up there, 300. Gibson's catching. Staunton is doing the pitching. But Elsney is the designated player. Brown will be playing third base in the middle of the lineup. Gambino, Welker, and Boyd. And even some solid hitters. You see Gambino and Welker at 400 and 360, respectively. As the DeSales women take to the field defensively. On the mound, Warner. She will not be batting today. There you see Warner, 8-2, 2.38, solid ERA. He's only given up 53 hits. Coach Tarasi said the women's team, they just kind of came together, Jim, during the season, and they were solid the whole time. Put together a great season. They have clinched their conference spot.
Yeah, she's done a nice job all year. She's given up 53 hits, 25 runs, 31 walks, and 74 strikeouts on the season.
74 Ks is big. Now, Jim, interesting. You've been around this a lot, coached this sport, and let me go through the defensive settings. In the outfield, Artisani, Holmquist, and Izzo. The infield will be Marashevsky, Muffley at short, Reddens at second, Kerr at first base, and of course the battery is Warner on the mound and Benjamin behind the plate. Does it benefit a pitcher not to be hitting, or does that maybe keep you out of the game a little bit? I guess it would depend on the individual players, but they love to hit.
Yeah, I would say that would be an individual situation. You can't really tell. I know some people that really didn't really want to go into the batter's box, but other people who really took the heat off and gave another way to contribute in the game.
There is a foul to our left by Condris, the right fielder from Wilkes. Steps in for pitch number 2. And a fly going out to left. Artisani under it makes the put out. Great play by Artisani there. Technically set down. 2 hands around the ball, and there's 1 in the books for the Bulldogs. Now stepping in is Julian, the center fielder from the Colonels. Little delay in the action. Our umpires for today's game behind the plate, Bernadette Murphy. Out on the base is Glenn Kelly. Got to get something squared up here. Maybe, I don't know if they have a wrong player in the lineup. There was a mini lineup confusion before we got started today. But right now, 1 out. Whatever that was, we got it straightened out now. Ball will be checked. How about this? I shouldn't say anything. I mean, great weather today. I mean, this has been rare for this.
Too loud.
Yeah, don't want to jinx us.
Because there's threat of thunderstorms and hail lately that we saw in the weather this morning. So while it's here, let's enjoy it.
A little foul up top. I like the wording you used there, Jim. With threat of. Let's just go threat of. For those of you tuning into the softball, Jim Wills just got finished covering the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Jim, you almost in 2 places at one time.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. The Iron Pigs was an outstanding game last night. Did a nice job of winning 6-1. So very good game to watch.
Jim doing baseball, basketball. Probably was showing up at the Phantoms game tonight. If you need any electrical work, plumbing, paper hanging, drywall, give Jim a call.
Not in that area. Did the Steelhawks last Saturday night. Interesting indoor football. So
Wow.
always keeps you jumping here at Source Electric.
But none of that will top when you did mites hockey
No.
in your career. Oh, an inside pitch. Batter is hit. On takes one. That was a pretty nasty hit. We could hear that one back here behind the plate.
Coaches, make sure everybody
shift. And going up here. This actually is Brittany Jumelon. So I got to catch number 9. Condris is out at second base. So now I have to get who that first batter was that flied out.
Well, Gibson's on deck, so
Conference on the mound, so we missed a player there to start the lineup.
the information card we were given, that was who we were given.
Yes, we were given Congress to lead it off, so we'll have to shift the lineup as we go through the game. This is indeed Brittany Jumelon. Pitch outside. One and out count, runner on second. What Wilkes was looking for, obviously they would love Jim to take a lead here in this opening game.
As I said, they've had a very successful season and they've done a nice job, but a lot of times they've been splitting double headers. When I talked to Coach Sarah Leavenworth before the ball game, she said that's been the deal. They've won 21 games coming in, so they've really done a nice job of winning games, but it's been those crucial games.
Two runners now as Jumelon rolls down to first base. This batter, indeed, Sarah Gibson, fouls one back behind the plate. Count 0-1, 1 out. Top of the first inning here at DeSales. Trying to move both of the runners over into scoring position. Pulls back in time. Count 1-1. Warner, Warner's bunt in front. That's going to stay fair territory. Play. And mishandled first base. That was the catcher, Benjamin, on it. Made the play. First baseman Kerr could not pull it in. That was a great bunt. So Jim, that died like right in front of the plate.
Exactly
barely a foot out of the box.
Yep, no question about it. Exactly what they needed to do. Perfect execution right there to load up the bases for the Colonels. Take
Here's
a look at it. Yep, just died there, rolled very close to the line and just sat there.
And actually tough even for Benjamin. I thought she made a great play. What she could do with that ball. This is Staunton now. Count goes to 0-2, just what Warner needed. Off the mound, Warner gets ahead of the batter. Staunton. 1 out. Key situation for DeSales. That third call strike. Warner with a great pitch. Froze Staunton. All right, now our batter now is Paul Desney. So each batter now down 1 in the lineup from what we were originally given. Right field, that's going to drop in. One runner scores, two come. Play at the plate is too late. The double, or the single, pardon me. Chase is home too. And Wilkes on the board.
Nice little piece of hitting right there. Got it to the outfield between both outfielders. Did a nice job of sending both people home.
And now batting for Wilkes, Caitlin Brown. Brown steps in, runners at first and second base. Swings through the first pitch from Warner. And you gotta enjoy this. If you're the pitcher, Staunton for Wilkes, you got a little 2-run cushion. First inning, your team needs the win. Foul, back out of play. And of course, DeSales, Jim, what they want to avoid, they've got couple of games tomorrow against Scranton. You don't want to go out on the season on a downer as you're getting ready for the playoffs. So emotionally, not a good thing if you're going to drop a couple doubleheaders.
Hey, you want to keep rolling. You want to keep on the speed you're on. No question about it.
That great play. It's short by Muffley, but throws it over third baseman Maraszewski's head. And again, all hands on deck. All hands are safe. Wilkes still with the bases loaded. And I'm going to say this should be Gambino.
And it is.
That ball a little bit high. Count goes to 1-0. Boy, a base hit here would be huge for Wilkes as Warner working them out. Foul back out of play. Gets the count to go to 1-1. Coach DeRossi very relaxed before the game. We've done several of their games over the years. She's been here 17 years. I don't think I've ever seen her that relaxed.
She's had a good year, and it's been, a while since they've been in the playoffs, so they're happy to be in the playoffs.
They have not been there since 2015, I believe she said 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yep.
Warner gets the count to 1-2. Big pitch coming up here against Gambino. Ooh, got just a little bit low. Count even, 2-2. Inside, tight on Gambino, almost hit her. Close to the knee. Warner works a full count. Everybody on their tippy toes on the bases. Swings through. 2 outs now in the inning.
Strikeout number 2 on the day.
Haley Welker steps in, nice 361, 30 base hits, and has a little bit of power there. As you see, he's jacked out 5 home runs. Of course, as a New England Patriots fan, the name Welker immediately popped out at me. Fouls it back, though, out of play.
And don't be telling me any draft picks you're taking today.
Nah. I watched Mr. Barkley. Congratulations to Whitehall High School, Penn State University, and the New York Giants. I watched Mr. Barkley got picked, and good for that young gentleman. I think he's going to have a huge impact on the New York Giants.
No question about it.
2 balls and 1 strike. Right here, though, to Welker. Looking for a little base hit. And low again. Warner nibbles. Tries to get her to chase. I think good thought. Runs the count, though, to 3-1. Welker has 2 in hand indeed. Warner wants a different pellet and is going to get the change. Warner on the mound. Reels it in, had to swing. Welker punches another one foul over the screen. And in talking with both coaches before the game, Jim, we can't express enough on many of these girls. Wilkes, a ton of nursing majors. That is a busy schedule, too. So to work softball in and be hard at it, playing, really dedication and commitment. As Welker swings through, jaunts out of the box. That'll do it for the top of the first inning, though, as Warner gets back-to-back strikeouts. DeSales now will get their first look. And pitcher from Wilkes, Staunton, should be taking the mound. And we'll be back after this break. Wilkes got two, DeSales coming to that. There it is, Wilkes University got to Warner a little bit in the top of the first. They've scored two, left the bases loaded, a couple of Ks by Warner to end the inning. DeSales now would like to try and come out, get a couple base runners, make something happen. And here you see the batting order for the DeSales Bulldogs. Redden leading it off, nice solid averages. Redden followed by Izzo, both in 300s. You see Kerr at 500, great average there. Marszewski is the cleanup hitter, followed by Holmquist, Benjamin, Muffley, Artisani, and Panconi. Nice 400 average in your 9 spot. That'll help your ball club.
No question about it. As you see, Grayson Stanton on the mound. There you see the numbers, 9-3 on the year. 2.60, 86 innings pitched, 84 hits, 38 runs, 18 walks, 45 strikeouts on the season.
Both pitchers, what an even matchup. The coaches also talked about that before the game. Both players with, I believe, a 2.6 ERA. Solid job by both. Wilkes now, they need the double win. The table is set for a nice game for the Colonels. They've taken a 2-run lead, got to nail them down. I think, Jim, the key here will be these first 2 innings. If Wilkes can kind of hang on, they've got a lead, and maybe lull DeSales into sleep, thinking, you know what, we're kind of solid in there. But knowing the players as we have the last few years at DeSales, Service Electric covering baseball, softball down here at DeSales University, and some Lehigh action, Muhlenberg action, always on sports scene. First pitch a little bit wide. Redden, second baseman. Nibbles on the outside and gets the call. Count goes to 1-1. Jamber inside, ball back and out of play. Couple fans ducking to get out of the way. Count 1-2 on Redden. Staunton. Back in the circle.
Redden with no extra base hits on the season. That's 7 RBIs.
Table setter.
Definitely. Of course, you couldn't say that about Quinn last night for the Iron Pigs as he hit that grand slam. Showed some power, only 25 home runs in his minor league career.
Aren't those
that was a big one.
Yeah, aren't those shockers when you get somebody you don't expect it? And swings through as Redden goes down via the K. We are on our way at DeSales University. And Izzo will step into the back. But here's a look. She tried to go after that little slap hit. Good thought with 2 strikes on her. Little swinging, running bunt. It's a good movement, though, by Staunton.
Izzo has a couple of doubles this year, 6 RBIs on the season. 18 walks.
Oh, big time change up there. Took a little off. We talked about Saquon Barkley. Saw Gesicki, the tight end, got picked up in the second round for Penn State. I think he's going to be an impact player, that guy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with him, depending on what. It had to be the right team because a lot of those teams are man tight end blocking, and his area of weakness is blocking, and he admits that. So it's going to be interesting to see how Miami uses him, but it's going to give Tannehill a downhill threat, so that's good.
That ball works outside. Count goes to double deuces. We got one out, bottom of the first inning. And a little change-up again. Wow, that's two great change-ups by Staunton. Fooled, I think, the DeSales batters. Really took something off. Almost dropped it down. That's a big key. That almost, I'd like to see that again. That looked like it maybe even a little bit of a riser.
She's pitched very, very well this year. Coach Leavenworth had a lot of praise for her.
Nibla's on the outside.
Says she does a good job going inside and outside, as you can see it right there.
Playing a little Maddox, working those corners. Count runs 0-2. 2 outs, though. And a lot of movement also. We're actually in a great position. She's really working the ball here.
She is. Kerr has 9 doubles, a triple, and a home run, 25 RBIs on the season.
And came down. Oof. Big pitch there. Three and one. Staunton. 2 big ones in a row. Froze. Kerr. Well, backing on a play. Good job by Kerr to protect the plate. Riley Kerr. Bats left, throws left. She's a freshman. Both the clubs solid, though, with young players.
Interesting how she fouls that one off. She's only struck out 7 times this year, so she's really tough in that batter's box. She's a tough out.
That's what you want out of your 3-hole hitter, too. Get somebody in there who's going to put it in contact. Put it in play. Contact, put it in play. Nibber at the plate goes behind. Again, you can see how tough she is to hang in there. Those last 2, not much of the bat on it, but just enough to keep her at bat going.
Staunton took a little off that pitch.
Marashevsky waits on deck. If Kerr takes her position down at the first base bag. There it is. Ground ball. That's in the hole. Going to go to left field. Throw at first base. No. Beats it out. So base hit by Kerr.
Nice piece of batting right there. Battling. Finally gets the pitch she wants, and you can take a look at it. Right through the gap of first and second.
That's some good hustle by Condris to try and make the play at first base. And Gambino to be awake to take a throw. Staunton, 2-out runner on first. That looked pretty good. Count is 0-1. Marashevsky, 20 hits. 1 long fly. Will pop foul, third base side. A third of the Wilkes team hustles over to try and make the play.
3 doubles, home run, has some power, 14 RBIs.
Nice and relaxed on the mound is Staunton. Ooh. Almost too close to let by. Count goes to 1-2.
Marashevsky is sophomore out of Archbishop Ryan. Coach had a lot of great things to say about her in the pregame chat.
Archbishop Ryan produced a pretty good football power. Almost anything with Archbishop in front of it, you're in trouble.
And they do a nice job.
There's pop up. Third base side catcher hustled over. Makes the play. We kind of got screened out. Wow. Gibson over to her left, right by the DeSales dugout. A little sliding catch. That'll do it for the first inning, and we'll be back with the top of the second. Wilkes University coming to bat. Oh, should be up again.
Welcome back. As you see, Wilkes ahead 2-0. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Bulldogs a hit and 1 error.
Boyd going to step in, and this is the player that we had missed. Haley Boyd, another freshman. We were not given her name. Maybe a last-minute change by Wilkes. There she is. She's going to fly out her first time around. And I get
6 hits on the season for Haley Boyd.
I get confused with those designated pitchers, flex players, in and out guy, whatever name they want to give them, Jim.
Yeah, a lot of different. Now we're going to
I wonder if that was some of the issue back in the first inning. Oh, no, we're going to be talking about the pitching rubber. What is that coming out of the ground? Coach Tarasi a little upset, a little animated. Anyway, Boyd steps back in, top of the second inning, flied out to left her first at bat, swings through that pitch, a little bit high, got her to chase. Good work by Warner on the mound. Fouls that back and out of play. Pitcher ahead 1-2 on the count. Top of the second inning. Softball this afternoon for you on 2 Sports. Tonight, Iron Pigs and the Phantoms. Phantoms look as we get a strikeout. Closing out her at-bat is Boyd. The Phantoms would like to close out the game against Providence tonight.
take a look at. They had her way out in front.
Yes, both pitchers working. You mentioned stats so close with these pitchers, Jim, and they almost have the same style. A lot of change-ups, a lot of off-speed. Here is Condris. Condris was hit by a pitch. Swings through. Evens count does Warner at 1-1. Another bunt by Wilkes. Dives in front of the plate. Warner up, throws. Going to be too late. Some big-time wheels by Condris on the bunt. She's going to be down at first base. That's 2 great bunts here. Take a look, Jim, again. This one dies.
They've done a nice job of laying that ball down and getting the real good roll by the line.
Julon, the catcher. She turns the bunt again, fouls it back and out of play. Brittany Julon. Hey, she didn't want to go on camera before the game, Jim. She got a little shy when we told her to come out for the open. That one close and did let it go. Count goes to 0-2. Jumaron.
Jumaron hails from Torrance, California. A couple of California girls on the roster. Coach Leavenworth, originally from California, so she's gotten some home state girls that come to Wilkes.
Yeah.
Since they take a visit, they love it.
That's nice. Who wouldn't want to come here? The great weather we had this winter. I mean, why would you want to be in California when you could have put up with snow in April? Warner with a play. What a great throw. Thought they were going to get the double play out of that. Warner fields it, turn, fires. Good play by DeSales. They erase the lead runner.
We got number 22, Sarah Gibson. Gibson laid down a bunt that Jim was talking about earlier in the first inning.
Classic batting style, back elbow up for Gibson. Looks like she's up in the box a little bit from last time. Error on that throw by Benjamin.
This girl that hails from California. She's from Chico, California, Pleasant Valley High School.
Hey, I've heard of that place.
Local reference. I'm sure your golf team has run into them at times.
Yes, we have. Goes deep, 3-1 runner on first. Don't want to put a second runner on here at this juncture of the game. Down 2. Middle of the lineup coming up.
Warner's done a nice job. Got 4 strikeouts here in the afternoon, but just some situational things that she gave up created opportunities for the Colonels.
Yeah, got out of the big bases loaded jam in the first. That's punched to right. That's looking pretty deep. And it's gone. Out of the park for Gibson. And look at the Colonels.
Third home run of the season for Gibson.
Big bomb right there. Scores 2. Gibson tags the HR. That's another 2 spot, Jim. It comes in a big time. Here's a look. Nice. Stayed with that. Actually chased it a little down and out.
Yeah, stuck with it. Did a nice job getting the wrist through.
Kept the weight back. Who's the guy that popped the granny last night for the Pigs here?
Quinn.
Similar maybe. Gibson, Quinn. Here comes Staunton.
Staunton from Kernersville, North Carolina. So a stateside lineup for Coach Leavenworth. Has a lot of different kids from a lot of different places.
Also says a lot about Wilkes University, DeSales University, attracting all these fine young academians and athletes. Pop foul, out of play, first base side, does Staunton. Wilkes scoring 4. Reaches out, slaps that first base side, still in the 0-2 hole. Now, Jim, you talked about it before. The girls in softball more than any baseball play a lot of doubleheaders. In your opinion, I mean, obviously you have to win games, but being able to look at your schedule and just bang out those doubleheaders is big. And nice liner to short. Muffley goes over, gets the glove up, puts it down for the 3rd out, but the Colonels do score 2 more runs. That'll close out the top of the first, or top of the second. We'll be back with the bottom of the second. 4-0, Wilkes University. And Here's a look at the DeSales bench. They've stuck themselves into a little bit of a 4-0 hole here at DeSales University in Center Valley. Moving back out to the mound is Staunton. Now, Jim, that's we started talking about before the break. You really can't have a bad day in girls softball because it hurts you doubly. And tough for the coaches to keep the girls. Like, how is the mindset knowing you got to play two every time you go out, pretty much?
Well, they're just so used to it from from travel ball and everything else that it really doesn't make that much of a difference to them. But the good thing you can see, I see with a lot of people is, if you don't perform well in the first game, you don't have to sit around longer than 30 minutes to think about how you can perform yourself better in the second game. I've seen that happen so many times where even the team is very good, highly ranked or whatever, comes out and it's just not their day in that first game, and they make an uncharacteristic mistake and lose 2-1 and come back and win the second one 10-0. So I think that's a lot of it. It's a lot of an advantage sometimes more than a disadvantage.
And pitches high, rides outside.
And also the girls throwing underhand makes a big difference because you're not putting a lot of pressure on the body. It's not a strain. You don't have to worry about pitch counts a lot of times and all those kind of things you do in baseball.
Holmquist steps in for DeSales. She is the center fielder.
For example, last night I saw 4 pitchers, even though they were up and won 6-1.
Right.
So you see everybody's got to get their time. And whereas in a doubleheader, coaching-wise, you can play some different players in that second game. There's a lot of different, I think, good factors in it.
And foul. Count was 2-2 on the first base side. Staunton very relaxed. You can see she's comfortable out there on the mound. She's now with a 4-run lead. I think she's certainly kind of in a perfect position for her. Punched toward first base. Gambino makes the pick, tags the bag. We've got 1 out in the second. Benjamin, the catcher, now steps in for DeSales. Here, a look.
Take a look at you laid off that pitch, but it went right down the first baseline. An easy play for Gambino.
I won't do it. Well, yeah, I will. Easy play for Gambino. A little tough one for Bill Buckner. Poor guy. I should have left him alone.
I heard that was brought up the other day on TV2 Sports, matter of fact. Last week during the baseball games at Coca-Cola Park, there was a play at first base in an error, just like the Buckner situation. Mike Krause brought it up. Going a little Boston on us, he said.
Yeah. And it's funny, we've both been around sports enough. Just how that can happen, though. Just a small mental gap. What a great first baseman Bill Buckner was.
Right, and that just goes back to what I was saying about the doubleheaders. You get a doubleheader out of that game, then you can go back and be airless in the second game. So there's a lot of good things about being able to come back and redeem yourself right away.
3-1 is the count. That one low and does work the walk. This time Benjamin, and she'll trot down to first base on the base on balls. First one issued by Staunton. Muffley, the shortstop, snagged a nice line drive. I believe at the top of this inning. So how many times do we see a batter make a great play? Defensive gem comes back offensively. One of the great characteristics of baseball.
Now ball down the left field line.
Muffley rips it. 0-2 count. Nice little batting average there, over 300. Better yet, how about 25 hits and 16 ribbies? She certainly has made good use of her base hits.
Out of Northampton High School, only a freshman.
Foul back and out of play. ball up and high. And they're going to say no swing. Good job by Bernadette Murphy. Checks with her partner, Glenn Kelly.
Muffley with 8 doubles on the season, so has some power.
Count goes to 2-2 on Muffley. A lot of bat on that going to right field, and a nice play by Condris. 2 down.
Congress didn't have to move that much to make that play. As you take a look at Grayson Staunton, as we said, 9-3 on the season.
Here comes Artisani and Drea. Senior beats one foul, third base side. To be one of the players honored today by DeSales.
Hailing from West Greenwich, Rhode Island. Greenwich, West Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Now there's a place that got to see some winters rougher than ours.
I was just going to say, this has got to be second nature to her.
Yeah. We get one of those, 9-inch storms. She's like, what's the big deal?
Yeah. Yep, no question about it.
Just went out the window of her dorm and trekked on over to class. Fly ball right, nice call. Condris puts 2 of them away to end the inning for Wilkes. That'll do it. 1 runner stranded, got there via the walk. We'll be back. 3rd inning coming your way. Wilkes scored 2 and 2. They would love to do the same in the 3rd. Here. Clouds moving in the background. Let's hope they blow right on through here. We are in the top of the 3rd inning at DeSales University. Wilkes Colonels ahead 4-0. They scored 2 in the first on a couple of hits. And a big home run by Gibson. Got them 2 more off our pitcher Warner. Settles in for the 3rd inning. But Delsny will be the hitter for Wilkes to lead off the inning.
Delsny with 31 hits on the season, a couple of doubles, 13 RBIs.
Knocked into 2 for Wilkes today. Takes low. Count goes to 1-0.
Delsny, a sophomore from Hazleton, another nursing major. So these girls got a lot of labs and a lot of work to go along with their Wilkes softball career.
And they go out to the hospitals by the time they're juniors and seniors, spending a lot of time. And then they get their 3 hours of softball in. Kudos to them. This goes to left field. Looks like a gap, but no, closing that off pretty quick is Artisani to her left. And Podelsny will fly out in the 3rd. Brown steps in.
Caitlin Brown with 25 hits on the season, 4 doubles, and 1 home run.
1 for 1 today. Fouls that one back in, out of play.
Another nursing major, as we talked about. From Glen Clove, New York.